I'm sure most of you are aware by now that the West Coast offense is by far the most popular offense in Madden 18. And the reason for that is really because of one specific play, which is dig halfback out. It's the only playbook that has this particular play, and that's the reason people are going to this gun bunch. Now, if you ask some pros, they're going to say they love facing gun bunch. They say, oh, I got the bag for gun bunch, which is true. You see some people and they really have some nice defense for gun bunch altogether. But then there's other pros that can't stop it at all still. They just maybe haven't labbed it enough or whatever the case may be, but they're pros and they still cannot stop it. You see it on streams every single day. Now, then you've got some more intermediate players that run to the West Coast offense because of the gun bunch and because of the one's play specifically. And because that one route must be usered, which is the lone wide receiver post, you're going to find a lot of intermediate players spamming it until their opponent can stop it. Because with max protection, so they don't have to worry about pressure, and then two receivers that are a high-low really makes it kind of impossible to really be able to user both. So they're always going to get somebody open until today. So I've run different methods of this. Initially, I was coming out in Okie roll and using a linebacker, was using Von Miller. The positioning just isn't right. Sometimes you would get good results, but then other times it wouldn't matter at all, and it just was not worth it. So today, we're going to take a look at running really any defense out of the Big Dime 146, but I'm going to focus on cross 3 fire, coming out in the play, strong corner 2 fire. So let's take a look. We're going to come out in strong corner 2 fire. We're going to base align quickly, which we've already done. Then we're going to audible to cross 3 fire. Then we're going to zone the middle linebacker on the left, QB contain. Then we want to man up the lone wide receiver on the left, and we're all set up. After that, you can play underneath coverage, you can leave the seam flats, you can do whatever it is that you want. But we're going back to the best crossfire in the game because of the fact that we can rush 4 and get pressure, and we can do this even against a max protect gun bunch. So it's the positioning of the crossman that makes this viable. It's also because we can get a corner on that wide receiver. So that's the one thing that you need to know. So if they're on the left hash, and you're going to know before the play, if they're on the left hash, you need to come out in the play unflipped, and you need to make sure that the safety in Big Dime 146 before you pick your play on the right is a corner. Can't be a safety. Okay, just can't. He just won't cover it. So just make sure that that guy is a corner. If they're on the right hash and you need to run the play flipped, then you need to make sure the safety on the left side is a corner. So very, very simple setup. Base align, cross 3 fire, contain, zone, man. I mean, it's simplest thing on the planet. It really, really is. And now let's take a look at the results. So here we're running against somebody that is really addicted to running this play. So he's got his max protection and he's got the in route. Now before, a lot of people were running hitches with circle and then just playmakering them. But in routes are much better because you were playmakering the hitch to the inside like every time. No, you were never really playmakering to the outside. So putting circle on an in route and then motioning him out a few steps is the best method. Then you're going to want a potentially playmaker. But as you can see right here, we're getting pressure with the crossfire, and now we're locked down on circle. The problem with covering this particular play is that if you cover one, the other is going to be open. There's really no zones that you can do to stop it. It's just that difficult, especially considering that gun bunch is definitely more than just one play. So here we come out again in strong corner 2 fire. We base align, Then we go to cross three fire, QB contain, zone, the left screen middle linebacker. So we're set up. The only step that we have to make now is by manning up the outside guy on the right. As you can see, we've already done that here. Here I make a couple other adjustments, just bring these guys down. If you have a 91 zone safety in that deep blue, you always really want to bring them down anyway if it's a single high safety. If you're playing like a cover 2, you don't want to do this. But anytime you're playing like a cover 3, putting your deep blue down close to the line, close to the linebacker, if he's a 91 zone, he's going to play everything. He's going to do a really nice job. And you're crowding the box a little bit better. So this is definitely something that is ideal. So I went hard flats just in case he runs something else, but he's been spamming this play. And as you can see here, we're trying, I mean, he should have thrown it, but he's got tunnel vision. This guy here is an intermediate player that has come out, knows about this play, and just wants to spam it. And because I'm not usering that route, he's like, oh, but I heard that it has to be usered. So he sees that I'm not near it. So he's like, he's looking at it, even though he's got the read underneath a 4th and 5 because my guy wasn't fast enough. So he's staring it down, thinking it's going to get open, and it's just locked up the entire way across the field. So now they're on the right hash mark. So I have to come out in the play flipped. So the safety on the left of screen, I've put as a corner. And you need a corner to be manned up. And the reason we're running this and not Okie roll, it's the positioning of the cornerback all the way across the field. When you do this, that makes it so that he sticks with his man. He doesn't get there too early. He doesn't get there too late. If you get there too early before the cut, then the defender dumbs out and will end up trailing and is going to be wide open. So coming out in strong corner 2 fire and then using the base align glitch, perfect position. And this is what labbing is all about. So now let's take a look. So here he's got possession of the ball again after losing it on his possessions. And now he's still just going to this. And because he's being stubborn so far in the first quarter, I'm being stubborn. And I'm just going to continue to run this. Okay. And as you can see here, I'm going to clamp down on this. He should be playmaking it, or he should be throwing it quicker. But again, he's still got that tunnel vision. He's still waiting for me to switch defenses, but I'm not going to switch defenses until he switches offense. And as you can see, that route is completely locked up. So now we're going to take a look at Big Dime 146 again. This time we're going to take a look at a compressed set. Now, this is 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and 2 wide receivers. So obviously they're not running gun bunch, but this still has a use. Cross man of this outside defender. There's a lot of crossing routes. Recently, Joel has been back on his tight flex formation. Okay, so if he's got the running back on the right side of the screen, then the deep crosser is going to go to the right side. Okay, it's going to end up going to the side of the running back. Now he can flip it, he can do all that stuff, and that's particularly fine. But for the most part, he's going to want to go to the wide side of the field, at least I think. And it can be a guessing game, right? But that one play, if you lock down that one route, I mean, you just lock it down. So that's it. And that goes for a lot of deep crossing route plays. Let's just say that this particular play right here is single back tight slots, and he wants to run halfback wheel. Okay, so all we'd have to do is man up that corner on the post route, and we're good to go. But what we've done here is something a little bit different. Now, as you can see, when we base align and then we audible to crossfire, just by default, we've got the 3 receiver hook. Let me just hot row here. We've got the 3 receiver hook way on the outside. Now, I prefer a 3 receiver hook. I think it's the best yellow in the game. By now, some people are preferring vertical hooks, which is fine. You know, everyone likes their own thing. I still prefer a 3-receiver hook. So the fact that I can get the 3-receiver hook while running Crossfire to come all the way over to the middle of the field, being very deceptive. So on one hand, I could cross-man Benjamin, or if it's like a tight slots and Thomas is a wide receiver on that side, I could cross-man him. Or I can leave the 3-receiver hook, which is basically going to be a very deceptive way to stop post routes. It's going to come all the way over. It's going to look like cross-man because he's going to run all the way over to the side, and then he's going to make a play over the middle. So now it's just up to me on who I want to use her. Now, based on this particular setup, and based on the fact that it's a tight formation and the zones that I have out there, this is just me, you're going to maximize. Now, are you going to be able to pick off like a quick pass over the middle? No. But you're going to maximize what you can do defensively by using this deep blue in a situation like this. Once you get a look at everything and you kind of get a glance, I love to use the deep blue because I can run over and manually cover a post route, and then if they run a corner, then I can run over and cover the corner route while still covering a potential pass lead to the outside against a cover 3, which is something that a lot of people will do against a cover 3. They see single high safety like you see right here, and if you take a look at this receiver, he's running a streak, and a lot of times they'll pass lead up into the corner against a cover 3, which is going to roast it. But because I'm using the deep blue, I can now guard that. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that you can do. Again, here we're in gun bunch. This time he's running dig, halfback out. It's 4th and 5, and we've got it cross man. But this time, I think he goes with the drag and the in route. So instead of just the streak and the in, he's going to put out 4 routes instead of 3. So here, he motions over. I'm trying to cover the flats the best that I can. But it's 4th and 5, and he knows again that he's got to user it, right? That I have to user that route. But just take a look again at the tunnel vision, and take a look at, well, first of all, the crossfire's coming in screaming. So even if he wanted to throw to the wide open guy over the middle of the field, which is the in route, by now it's too late. If he ends up getting more time, then yes, of course, I'm toast, and he ends up getting the first down, and you know, you're not going to win on every single play. But just take a look. I mean, that post route is absolutely blanketed. Again, in a situation like this, I can cross man. What do we see on the left? Is that Julio Jones? No, that's not Julio Jones. I don't know. It looks like Julio Jones. It's number 11. But you can cross man in formations like this. Any type of formations, you can do this in cross man. So any type of deep crosser, you can lock it down. Lock it down. If you love to call cover 3, like a crossfire type thing, and you're always getting burnt by these crossers like out of trips tight end, out of gun bunch tight end, where you're, you know, streaking the tight end or putting the tight end on a drag and then having those deep crossers all the way across the field. Nope. Sorry. Not going to happen anymore. Not going to be able to do it. And then, of course, we can stop the run. So here again, we go base align. Audible to cross 3 fire. Oh, actually, no, this time I went to cover 1. So I mean, you could just mix it up, right? But now I've got the 3-receiver hook way on the outside. Okay? So this is just showing you can run any defense. Now I put this guy in a hard flat, and then you always want to user the guy that's on the running back. So here, I'm on the running back, that he motions, so I slowly go to the running back. He ends up running the ball, and cover 1 is a fantastic run defense. So you could do this really against any formation. Not necessarily that I suggest that, but you can certainly cross man. So here, I was going to say it's a single back wide trips, but it's not. So here, if he's got a crossing route, he's doing a lot of audibling, motioning, whatever. It's up to us to get the running back on the left side. So we can certainly have run defense out of this. The Big Dime 146, this defense is so glitchy. It's just, it can stop the run on any given moment. For a lot of the reasons that people say that Madden is so bad and unpredictable and blah, blah, blah. Well, Big Dime 146 is one of those formations. You can give up the run. But there's just some games where you're just not going to run on Big Dime 146 for whatever reason. Even if it looks like you have all the lanes in the world. You're just not going to be able to. Now here, I end up going to edge 3 seam. I'm just labbing, right? So I'm looking at what kind of pressure could I get from that right side. So I'm running the cross man, and I'm just coming up with different setups, and I'm thinking, okay, is there a way that I'm just labbing. So can I get some right side pressure rather than looping pressure over the middle? So now he runs this play, motions the guy over. I've got Benjamin on a crossing route. Okay, so now I got to worry about the underneath drag. This crossing route, locked. Locked. There's nothing. Crossing route is locked. Crossing routes in Madden 18 and even before are the toughest thing to defend because of the fact that they just glitch out deep blues and they glitch out a lot of the zones, and cloud flats won't stay up and play them. Cloud flats will go all the way down by the time a crossing route gets to the other side of the field. So we're going to lock this up entirely. Now, unfortunately, I did this video already, and the video was perfect. And then OBS did not record my mic. So now I'm doing it again. I didn't really do nearly as good of a job, but I hope you guys understand how we're running this defense. There's a lot of different things that you can do, considering the fact that you can set your audibles. I definitely recommend using this. Come out in strong, corner, 2 fire, base align, and then audible to whatever defense it is that you want. Obviously, there's many plays in the gun bunch formation. Big halfback out is just the beginning. So showing you how to cross man on a post route is great. But if they don't run a post route by that guy, you're kind of cooked because of the fact that it could be a C route. And there's no way that that defender is going to go over and cover the C route. That's just not going to happen. But that's the beauty of Madden, is it's all adjustments. So you could come out in this defense, okay, and don't cross man. Leave the guy in a 3 receiver hook, or man him up on a guy on the same side, or put him in a cloud on the same side, or do whatever it is that you want to do. But just try to win the chess match against your opponent. But the best part is if you know that they're going to run that play, you can lock it up entirely. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.